Jai Hind dosto. So today I am going to tell you that how to become a commissioned officer in Indian Army, Indian Air Force and Indian Navy, moreover in Indian Coast Guard as well. So before we proceed, I would like to tell you a very short introduction about myself. So I am working as a senior officer in Marine Navy from last few years. But before that, I also attended a lot of SSB interviews via various examination conducted by UPSC. But unfortunately, I was not be able to make it in the merit list. Maybe my destiny have chosen something different for me. So my career turned into in aviation. Then after I had done lot of certification and all. My destiny again chosen and given me the opportunity to work in marine field. So currently I am working as a senior officer in Marine Navy. So I'm going to explain you about a various examination in full description because it will be very helpful for the new beginner, those who are passing 10 plus 2 and they have not decided yet that what to do, what not to do. So this video will be a very clear image and very clear description for them to not to make any kind of mistake for choosing a better career, and they will not waste any kind of time. So let's begin. So basically I will start with one by one and I will explain in both English and Hindi. I will switch in both the language one after another for the better understanding for you all. So I will start with first the after passing the 10 plus 2 examination, what examination you have to give to become a commissioned officer in Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force. So at first I will tell you, after getting selected in Indian Army you have to do a training. If you selected by NDA, so you have to do a training in NDA Khadakwasla for 3 years. Then after you will get a chance to select your wings, maybe Navy, Air Force or Army. Then after you will transferred in various training locations for the upgraded trainings. So I will start with the first examination. I hope you are must aware of it. So the first examination is NDA, National Defense Academy. So as I already said that National Defense Academy training was held at Khadakwasla, Pune. So and there are two examinations, NDA 1 and NDA 2 in a year, conducted by UPSC. So in NDA 1 and NDA 2 comprises of two stages. The first is offline test. You have to clear the offline test first. Then after you have to go for the SSB interview, which is Service Selection Board. So after clearing the SSB interview, you will go for the medical examination. Then after the medical examination, your merit list will come as per the vacancies. Then after you will get a chance to do a training at NDA Khadakwasla for 3 years. Then after completing your 3 years, you will get a chance to select your wings for Navy, Air Force and Army. So if you will choose the Army, you have to do a training as per your ranks and as per your marks at IMA, Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, or OTA, Chennai or Gaya. Or if you choose a Navy, so you have to do a training for upgraded training at Indian Naval Academy, Ejimala. Or for Air Force, you have to do a training at Air Force Academy, Hyderabad. So this is the first entry which I already discussed with you. The SSB interview is a 5-day of selection process which comprises a lot of tests. So you have to clear each test one after another to get recommended, followed by the medical test. Then the second is the Indian Navy BTEC entry scheme. So Indian Navy BTEC entry scheme is basically held after 10 plus 2, in which the candidate must have to hold a minimum of 70% in physics, chemistry and mathematics. Also, candidate have to sit in JEE examination, which is mandatory. So they will choose you from your JEE examination marks and this PCM 70%, and they will give you a direct invitation for the SSB interview at various location. You have to report at that location and you have to complete all the interview one after another, followed by the medical examination and merit list. Then after, the another entry is TS examination, that is technical entry scheme, which is also conducted after 10+2. So in TS examination also, the candidate must have to hold a minimum of 60% in physics, chemistry, math. Also need to appear in JEE mains examination, need to hold a good rank in JEE mains examination. Then after, they will get a direct invitation from the armed forces to give a service selection board interview at various location, followed by the medical test and then after merit list. Now these are the entries for 10+2 examination. Now if I will switch into after graduation, how to become a commissioned officer. So there are a lot of examination after the graduation to become a commissioned officer in Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force. So I will explain you one by one each and everything in details for your better understanding. So after the graduation, the first and the foremost opportunity, you will get a CDS examination, which is a combined defense service, which is held twice in a year, conducted by the UPSC. So combined defense service is also an offline test. You need to clear the CDS examination. Then after getting selected in written examination, you will get an invitation from the various location to give the service selection board examination, which is SSB interview, followed by the medical test, then after merit list. Then after, you will get a fully recommended and got an opportunity to join the defense armed forces in any wings. Then after, the second examination is FCAT, AFCAT, FCAT. So the full form of FCAT is Air Force Common Admission Test. So in FCAT, this comprises of two departments, technical and non-technical department. And in FCAT also, you have to give a offline examination first. After clearing the offline examination as per the cutoff marks, then after, you will get a chance to give the SSB interview at various AFSB centers to become a commissioned officer in Indian Air Force, and you will get a chance to do the further training at Air Force Academy, Hyderabad. Now the next is UES entry, which is University Entry Scheme. So the candidate, those who are pursuing the engineering background in different streams like mechanical, civil, electronics, electrical, or any kind of streams, they will get a direct opportunity by applying in UES entry to become a commissioned officer in Indian Navy. So after applying that, they will give a call to come to at particular engineering college for the for some selection process. So you need to report at time with all the documents. First of all, your documentation will be held. Then after, you will go through with different stages like group discussion or different kind of examination, followed by the documentation process. Then after, they will shortlisted, and then after, they will give you a direct invitation for the SSB interview at Indian Navy selection board, followed by the medical test and merit list. Then after, you will become a commissioned officer in Indian Navy as well. Okay, so the next is how to become a commissioned officer in Indian Coast Guard. So in Indian Coast Guard, after applying that and after getting shortlisted your application by filling all the eligibility criteria, they will call you for the preliminary test. In preliminary test, you have to gone through with just a simple test, which is PP and DT, with some normal written examination, that is a simple aptitude test, verbal and non-verbal. So based on that, they will shortlisted the candidate, and then after they will give the invitation for the further round, that is PSB, just like the SSB interview. So then after clearing the PSB interview, then after you have to go for the medical test, then after merit list, then you become a commissioned officer in Indian Coast Guard. Now the next entry is NCC special entry. So in NCC special entry, you have to direct apply to become a commissioned officer, and then after you will get a direct invitation from them to give a SSB interview, only for the NCC candidate, those who completed their NCCs from different wings, Army, Navy or Air Force. So then after they will have to report at different location for the SSB interview. Then after they have to go for the SSB interview and give the SSB interview, followed by the medical test and merit list. Okay, the next entry is JAG entry, that is Judge Advocate General entry, which is conducted by Indian Army. So in which this entry is basically for the law students, those who completed law. So they have to keep their aggregate percentage of 55% in their law degree. Then after they can able to apply for this entry, and they will get a direct invitation after the shortlisting of their application for the SSB interview, followed by the medical test and merit list. Then after, there are different various examinations are also there for the medical candidates, just like AFMC. So I will explain you in full details about the AFMC entry as well in my next video, so that you will get a clear idea about what is AFMC and what eligibility have to fulfill, and what are the aggregate percentage need to keep to become a commissioned officer as a medical officer in Defense Armed Forces. So these are the examinations which a candidate can choose after 10+2 or after the graduation to become a commissioned officer in any of the wing, Indian Army, Indian Air Force or Indian Navy. So I hope I'll try to explain you each and everything in details, so that you will not do any kind of mistake by choosing your career to become a commissioned officer in Indian Defense Forces. जय हिंद दोस्तों.